to Strange Monkey Reviews, horror freaks, and today I am reviewing Scream 7, the long-awaited sequel that was delayed and changed up, and they had to shake it up a little bit because it was not the original idea that we had before. We all know that. There was some controversy, and then, we got what we got, so here we go. So, Sidney Prescott has built a new life for herself, living in Indiana. She is married, she has children. One of her daughters is named Tatum, which she named after her late friend from the first film, and everything's great. She's working in a coffee shop. It's fantastic. What could possibly go wrong for old Sidney? Well, Ghostface is back once again. There's more murders and left and right, the usual. What's the motive? What's going on? Who's after Sidney now? Why? Why are we doing this again? 7 films. Can't we just leave this poor woman alone? I don't understand it. Tatum, Sidney's daughter, is one of the targets in this film. In her high school, she's got her friends, and Ghostface is coming after her. Apparently this person wants to make Sidney suffer. And there's some sort of connection to Woodsboro. I don't know. It's not me. I'm not Ghostface. So anyway, the film is directed by Kevin Williamson, who wrote the first film. He's been involved in these movies for a long time, and it's good to see him in the director's chair. We got Neve Campbell coming back. This is a plus. I was on board as soon as I heard this news, because I felt Scream 6 was just too much. It was too much going on. It was inflated. I'm like, we need to trim off some of the fat here. This is ridiculous. This is out of control. So we've got Sidney coming back. We have Gale Weathers coming back. How about Stu Macher? How about that? Listen, people. You heard in the trailer, you heard the announcements. The man's name is on the poster. Matthew Lillard is in this film. To what capacity? What's the involvement? What's going on? I'm not telling you. You gotta go watch it. I will say that his character being in this film, I thought it was cool. So that's all. It was nice to see you again, good sir. That's it. That's as far as I'm gonna go with it. You gotta watch the film. So that's it. It's not necessarily a spoiler if they announce this, so don't look at me. But anyway, we got Roger L. Jackson back at it again as the voice of Ghostface. The man is almost 70, and he is still killing it at this age, this advanced age as the voice of Ghostface. Fantastic. Who else do we've got? We have Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown coming back as the twins, Chad and Mindy. They are pretty good, and I have to say, they are supporting characters. They're involved in the situation, but good Lord, Mindy in the previous film was out of control. They took her character, they cranked it up to 11. I can't reach the ceiling. And it's just over-explaining everything. So much exposition. This woman ran around the corner when she survived and was worried about missing the monologue from Ghostface instead of worrying about her brother who was injured. Like, come on. Make it make sense. But they have toned it down with Miss Mindy in this film. It's just, we're back to normal. Because I like the character. But in 6, they went overboard. I don't care what you say. That's how I feel about it. Let's see here. The plot. For the majority of the film, it was going well. I feel like around, maybe towards the third act, things got a little sloppy there. Because of what was happening as far as Ghostface is involved, and, the motives behind what was going on. To me, I feel like, you've got a full course meal in front of you, but not a lot of flavor. What are we doing here, folks? I don't know. I feel like that could have been a lot more stronger, in my opinion. Aside from that, everything else was wonderful. You've got Sidney Neve Campbell giving one of the best performances of her career because the stakes are higher now. She's got a family. I mean, she's always had a family, but she's got a daughter. She's got a husband. She's got to protect her children in this whole situation. Gail Weathers, always have Sydney's back as usual. It's good to see her again. And like I said, Chad and Mindy, and even the new characters. You have Tatum, you have Mark. Shout out to Joel McHale. Joel McHale was great. When everybody heard Joel McHale was going to say, Joel McHale in a Scream movie? But I'm going to tell you something right now. He killed it. He was awesome, okay? I love the chemistry. Let's go into the acting. The chemistry with Mark, Sydney, and Tatum, the three of them as a team, as a unit, fantastic, beautiful chemistry. Everybody, the new characters, they're Tatum's friends. They're just, it's a blank spot. I can't remember all their names. A lot of new people in this movie. All the friends, all the new people involved. I liked the chemistry with Tatum and her friends, but I wish we had a little bit more screen time with them. The kills with Ghostface in this film were very creative. Very, very creative. And I was like, whoa, ooh, oh my goodness gracious. Also, McKenna Grace. She plays one of Tatum's friends. I cannot remember. She's like one of the ones that are closest to her. And she also provides vocals on the song Twisting the Knife by Ice Nine Kills. The music video is great. The song is awesome. She's featured in the song. These Scream movies with their soundtracks just fire most of the time, But yeah, she's a great supporting character. I have no issues with the acting. Oh, and we also have Marco Beltrami, who came back to score the film, to provide the beautiful music from the soundtrack. That was missing from these movies, and I'm so happy he came back for this because, we've got a lot of the missing pieces of the puzzle being put back into place, and that's what we needed in a Scream film. At this point, number 7, I think we should stop here. The film's already a success. It's doing very well in theaters, but honestly, we gotta stop. We really need to stop. That's enough. You almost screwed everything up in this movie. Shh. The third hand. Listen to the third hand. The third hand is saying, we have to stop at some point. Okay? Franchises that get this far usually crash and burn. Things are a little 50-50 with Scream right now. Not everybody was happy with this. Overall, I think Kevin Williamson did the best that he could. I couldn't think of anybody else that would be perfect to direct the film. The people who directed 5 and 6, they did a good job. But I will say this, like I said, I felt like the third act just needed a little bit more than what we got. And I feel like these people who work on these films, these higher ups, they just care about Ghostface. Like, this is what sells, but the story is what makes it work, in my opinion. If you have a story that makes sense, by the time you get to the big reveal and Ghostface explains, like he always does, or she always does, or whatever, that's what matters most. That is why we are here. What's going on? Why is this person after Sydney or whoever? Don't screw that up. Make it make sense. If you don't care about that, then throw this whole thing away. But anyway, like I said, I enjoyed Scream 7 for what it is. And it's one hell of a good time. Strange Monkey approved. I was leaning towards shamelessly entertaining, but I'm gonna give it a pass because we got Neve Campbell back. But yeah, other than that, we're good. Hello?
Hello there, Strange Monkey. Do you like scary movies?
I'm hanging up. I gotta finish a review. Anyway, guys, be sure to subscribe and click on that notification bell. Follow me on all of my social media platforms and have yourselves a good fright. Let me know what you thought about Scream 7 in the comment section. And be sure to watch all of my other reviews. I gotta go. Ghostface is coming after me.
Have yourself a good